Let us start the IOCL 2025 previous year question paper. My name is Anjali, a chemical engineer, third year from Chandler University. This is the of the questions. First few questions are from heat transfer and mechanics. There are some questions from petroleum refining also, mass transfer, absorption, environmental engineering, and so on. By doing so, you are able to know. Like the first question itself is, the Grashof number is the ratio of. The correct answer is buoyancy force upon earth force. What is the Grashof number formula? The Grashof number formula is G beta delta L square L cube upon B square. This is G is acceleration due to gravity, beta is thermal expansion, delta T is the temperature difference as you well know, L is characteristic length and B is kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity is the ratio of dynamic viscosity and density. So the correct answer is buoyant force to viscous force. If the greatest number is greater than 20, the Nusselt number for fully developed laminar flow in a circular tube tends to be approximately. The correct answer is 4/3 because the greatest number is very high, it is 20, and it means that the heat convention is dominating. If the heat convention is dominating, then the standard value, that is 3.37 is not there. The value reduced to 4.3. Conversion of olefins to aromatics occur in. The correct answer is catalytic reforming because olefins are alkenes. Alkenes, when there is a conversion of alkenes to aromatics, alkenes are double bonded compound. When there is a conversion to aromatic, like toluene, this is benzene. Sorry, this whole term is with CH3 above is toluene. So the conversion of olefins, that is alkenes, to aromatic occur in catalytic reforming. With the help of catalyst, this conversion takes place. Antioxidants are added to petrol. Obviously, antioxidants are added to prevent oxidation. No need to see any other option. For high gas absorption efficiency in gas-liquid mass transfer, the optimum condition is, whenever there is a question of high gas absorption, there is a Henry's law. What does it state? That if the pressure is low, then the solubility is less. If the pressure is high, the solubility would be high. And it occurs at constant temperature. So the correct answer is high pressure and low temperature. In penetration theory, the contact time is related to diffusion coefficient and mass transfer coefficient R. Mass transfer coefficient tells you how fast the reaction takes place, and diffusion coefficient tells you how the particles are spreading, how fast the particles are spreaded in the inside the film. So if there is contact time, then obviously there must be diffusion, and mass transfer coefficient would be less. There must be a contact time. If the contact time increases, your mass transfer coefficient decreases. So the correct option for this question is this. Next, the Rayleigh number is expressed in terms of Grashof number and Pratt number. This is very famous answer. The famous question. The answer is Rayleigh number is the function of Grashof number and Pratt number. Grashof number we already studied. Prandtl number is momentum diffusivity upon thermal diffusivity. Very important number in heat transfer. This is a dimensionless number, very much important. Mu Cp upon K, where mu is kinematic viscosity, Cp is specific heat capacity, K is thermal conductivity. Then, according to the penetration theory, the liquid mass transfer varies. You can easily derive the relation from the above question. The correct answer is this. Limestone is added in flue gas treatment. The limestone is added to remove sulfur dioxide. Why? Sulfur dioxide is added to water to make the compound of water and sulfur dioxide, and then that in that compound limestone is added, and again there are calcetes formed and they are treated. So limestone is added in flue gas treatment to remove sulfur dioxide. A refrigerator operates between TL 5 degrees Celsius and TH 30 degrees Celsius, the coefficient of performance. Carnot cycle, for a Carnot cycle, is an idle engine. The coefficient of performance for the Carnot cycle is T upon TH minus TL. So by putting the values, the answer came out to be 11.2. You can cross verify, but the answer that approximately relates is 10. The Ditters-Boelter equation for turbulent flow of a hot fluid is. This is Nusselt number is a function of Reynolds number and Prandtl number. For cooling, N is 0.3. For cooling, already the fluid is hot, so we have to cool it, and for cooling, the N is 0.3, and for heating, the N is 0.4. In a RTD residence time distribution curve, the tail portion represent. Obviously, the tail portion represent non-plug flow, non-idle mixing, sluggish or stagnant zones. Residence time distribution curve is not the idle curve. Ideally, the flow pattern of the fluid in a reactor is a straight line, but due to non-ideality, this residence time distribution is a probability time function. Space-time 5 is defined as the space-time unit is seconds, hour, minute. So obviously the correct answer would be time required to process one reactor volume is 5 hours, because the answer is given 5 hours. For n identical CSTR in series, the overall space-time is n, the individual space-time. This is your individual space-time. Individual space-time. Then, for a fin having cross-sectional A, perimeter P and thermal conductivity K, the heat transfer coefficient is, as you well know, the heat transfer coefficient varies as m is equals to root Hp upon Ka. So m square Ka upon P. This is a standard formula. So the correct answer would be m square Ka upon V. This one. For a parallel flow heat exchanger where C minimum and C maximum is 0.5, the effectiveness is approximately. See, there is a formula for parallel flow heat exchanger effectiveness. That is very complex formula that needs the number of transfer units and TU. But with common sense, we can see that if C minimum or C maximum is 1, the effectiveness reduces to 50%. But if C minimum is 0.5, the effectiveness would be between 50% to 60%. So the answer to this question is 0.58. Determine the critical speed of the ball mill if the diameter is 50 mm and ball diameter is 5 mm. The formula for critical speed is 1 y 2 pi root g upon capital R minus, if the capital R is the radius of the ball mill and small r is the radius of the ball diameter. This can be reduces to 42.3 divided with root d minus d. Okay, the answer came out to be 199.2 RPM. But the options here are wrong. So the approximate answer would be 7,000 because the speed should be high. But this, according to the paper, this question is incorrect. But as per the calculations, the answer came out to be 199.2 RPM. So you can cross check and text me if you find the correct answer. The vapor flow rate in a distillation column for a feed of 200 kmol per hour liquid mole fraction is given with relative validities. This is a calculation based question because to calculate the vapor flow rate we need to apply the full formulas, and as per formula you need the reflux ratio, you need the product composition, what is the percentage of distillate coming, what is the percentage, because we are talking about the distillation column, so what is the percentage of the bottom product coming. So this is a calculation, purely calculation based question. Sorry, my bad. This is not the calculation based question. As I explained the answer correctly, this question requires additional parameters, that is your reflux ratio, product composition, and so on. In Maccabe-Thiele diagram, the slope of the Q line is, for Q is 0.75, the slope is. This is one of the easiest question. Above 0.75 and in denominator negative of 0.25, this out to be -3. Last question, payback period for a rupees 10 crore investment with the annuity of 2 crore is very easy. Initial investment is 10 crore and your annual income is 2 crore. 10 divided with 2, 5 years. Because payback period is the time required for the company to recover its profit, to cover its initial investment. It is the time required for the company to start making profit or cover its initial investment. The answer would be 5 years. Thank